Many years ago, in the neighborhood of Katuchara in Windhoek, there lived a young lady named Unapawa. She was known for her small poultry business, raising chickens behind her flat. Every morning before the sun fully rose, she would wake up, sweep the compound, clean the cages, feed the birds, and check on the eggs. Then, she would get dressed and head to the market to sell eggs and freshly cleaned chicken meat. People called her Miss Chicken and admired her for how hardworking she was. Unapawa had been dating Lucas Cambodi for 3 years. Lucas worked as a civil engineer in the city and lived in Eros in a flat his company provided. He was the only son of Mikulu Hilda, a retired headmistress who stayed home due to blood pressure issues and aching knees. He also had a younger sister, Talina, a third-year accounting student at the University of Namibia. Lucas and Unapawa had met at a youth conference. From that day, their relationship blossomed into something like a fairy tale. Lucas was kind and supportive, even when her business was slow, even when she was exhausted from work, even when her nails were chipped and her hair undone. He loved her as she was. Then, one Sunday afternoon, after lunch at a restaurant, Lucas knelt beside their table, opened a small ring box, and said, "Amela, my chicken girl, will you marry me?" The whole place erupted in cheers, and Unapawa cried as she said yes. For weeks, she floated in joy, dancing while feeding her chickens and using the word fiancé in every sentence. Her mother was filled with pride, and her friend Selma started preparing for bridesmaid duties. When it came time to visit Lucas's family officially, Unapawa took it seriously. She sought advice on what to bring and settled on handmade baskets, packets of dry fish, mahanga flour, a new headscarf, and perfume. Everything was wrapped nicely with a little card. On the way to his family home, she nervously asked if his mom liked pepper, if she should cut it twice, and whether Talina would be home. Lucas simply laughed and told her to relax. But the moment they entered the house, everything changed. Mikulu Hilda sat upright in a traditional dress, glasses low on her nose. Talina barely looked up from her phone. Unapawa greeted them warmly and presented the gifts, but the response was cold. "Where did you get the money to buy all this?" Hilda asked. "From Lucas or from where?" Unapawa smiled shyly. "I have a poultry business, Mama. I raise chickens." Hilda muttered something and turned away. Talina stood up and walked to the kitchen without a word, not even offering a drink. Lucas tried to lighten the mood, but the tension was thick. On the way back, Unapawa asked, "Why do I feel like your mom and sister don't like me?" Lucas brushed it off. "That's how she is with new people. Don't overthink it." But her friend Selma wasn't so sure. "If you're marrying into a family that hates you from day one," she warned, "prepare yourself. You'll be fighting 3 battles: marriage, in-laws, and your own peace." Still, Unapawa held on to hope. She started buying gifts for Talina, chocolates, perfume, phone credit, even sneakers she once mentioned. But Talina never seemed to appreciate any of it. When Unapawa visited Lucas's flat, everything would be peaceful, until Talina walked in and the air would shift. One day, Unapawa cooked ashafima and chicken stew. Talina arrived, looked at the food, and laughed. "Is this what you call cooking? Even our dog would bark if served this." Lucas brushed it off, saying, "Don't mind her. She thinks she's a comedian." Still, Unapawa kept quiet. Her mother had always told her, before a girl becomes a wife, she must learn to sweep in silence and eat with elders. So, she tried harder. One day, when Lucas was dropping medication for his mother, Unapawa tagged along with a bowl of traditional beans and a get-well-soon note. While Lucas stepped out briefly, Hilda looked at her and said coldly, "Look here. I don't like you. You're not welcome in this family. You can bring all the beans in the world, but that won't make us accept you. If you're wise, walk away now." Unapawa smiled and said, "Thank you, Mama. I've heard you." She never told Lucas about it. But when she got home, she cried, not because of the words, but the calm way they were said. Her mother warned her, "A house that hates you from the beginning will burn your heart later. Be careful. Love is not enough when your husband's people want to see you fall." Despite everything, she went ahead with the wedding. She wore a stunning mermaid gown and Lucas, a cream suit. The ceremony was emotional. Even Hilda and Talina smiled, but it never reached their hearts. 3 months into the marriage, Lucas told her his mother's health had worsened, and she couldn't live alone anymore. Unapawa said okay. What else could she say? Wives endure. Hilda moved in with boxes and her own mattress. Talina followed with a smug look. At first, it was manageable. But then Hilda began making life hard, spilling hot pap on her foot, vomiting near her rug, mocking her. When Unapawa gently suggested hiring help, Hilda snapped, "Isn't this what you signed up for when you forced yourself into our family?" Talina visited more, gossiping and mocking in low tones. Lucas, often away for work, was unaware. Her poultry business began to suffer. Birds died, customers complained, and money became tight. Then one day, Hilda slipped in the bathroom. It wasn't serious, but when Lucas returned and heard the story, he was furious. "She could have died," he shouted. That was the first time he raised his voice. That night, Hilda smiled triumphantly. Unapawa wept in the bathroom. Selma's words rang in her head, "One day, he will be the one to hand them the knife." 6 months in, Unapawa was a shadow of herself. Her business barely held on. Hilda became more demanding, royal breakfasts, orders, and no gratitude. When Lucas returned, she would fake weakness. Unapawa lived in two worlds, one where she was a queen, and another where she was an unwanted maid. One Sunday, she got word that her mother was sick. She begged Lucas to arrange someone to help with Hilda so she could visit. He said he would, but never did. The next evening, Hilda slipped again, and accused Unapawa of poisoning the floor. Lucas believed her. "I think it's best you stay with your mom for a while," he said coldly. She packed and left. 3 weeks passed. Lucas didn't call. When she found out he was back in Windhoek and never told her, she called him. "You didn't ask," he said. That was the day she realized he had made his choice. And it wasn't her. 1 month later, Lucas showed up at her compound. He apologized, tried to explain, and begged her to return. She listened. Then, quietly, she said, "I'm not coming back." Lucas froze. "The day your mother accused me of trying to kill her, you didn't even ask me what happened. That day, something inside me broke. And I can't fix it." She continued, "Love without protection is suffering. Love without boundaries is punishment. Your family didn't want me, and you let them win." Lucas stood there helpless. "So, this is it?" "This is me choosing peace," she replied. When Lucas returned to Windhoek without her, the house felt like a funeral. Dust, dirty dishes, and silence filled the air. His mother casually asked, "So, you didn't bring her back?" He didn't answer. Later, when she asked what to eat, he replied coldly, "You're strong. Cook something yourself." He finally saw the truth, everything she had done. And now, he had to do it all. When Talina visited, he snapped at her too. "Marriage is not a joke," he shouted. She stormed out, shocked. Later that night, Lucas cried. "I should have defended her." 6 months later, Unapawa stood before her mirror, headscarf tied, face glowing. Her poultry business was booming again. Then one day, Lucas showed up with a white envelope. "I brought your things and some money," he said. She interrupted gently, "I don't want anything that pulls me back." Then he said, "Mama passed last week." A flood of memories rushed over her. But she felt neither joy nor sorrow. Just peace. I'm sorry, she said. Before leaving, he added, if I ever remarry, I pray I become a better man. She didn't respond. She just smiled. A small smile of peace. Because now she knew. Peace is better than position.